Springboks versus All Blacks, biggest rivalry in rugby, probably the biggest rivalry in sport. Over 100 test matches between the two sides, not a lot to call it. And it's happening again this weekend. Starts this weekend in Ellis Park, and there's a second test in Cape Town as well. Can't wait for it. I'm here today for the dark arts of it, the tactics. What could Razor be planning and what could Rassie be planning? Could we see a reversal of tactics from both sides to what we're used to seeing from them? And oh man, let me know what you guys think. I've got my jersey to not separate the two because I'm honestly, I'm probably more on the Springbok side because I am a Springbok fan, but who knows, man. All Blacks come out and win. It wouldn't surprise me. Let me know what you guys think. How do you see this game playing out? And I'm here for the tactics today. Let's dive a little bit deeper into the tactics, what we could potentially see happen on Saturday. While you're there, hit that subscribe. Let's get into it. So I'm going to stick on the Springboks firstly because they have their team has been released. So I'll pop the team up over here. As you can see, the first big out is Eben Etzebeth. It's not been named. Although Rassie did come out later on in the press conference speaking about his selection, saying that Eben could still possibly be named. Again, there's...
It's a meniscus, but not a meniscus, a trauma meniscus. So, it's a meniscus in the scrum. You know, it's from him changing feet from one foot to another foot in the scrum on his own. So it's not where somebody ran onto him and got a whole tear on the thing and everything is to pieces. He just... Van love scrums. So on this side there was a hell of a lot of scrum, kilogram, and this guy's side was also a hell of a lot of kilogram. And Eben had to move his feet, and that kilogram was coming onto this side. And he twisted his knee a little bit. So hopefully the mechanics is also not, shows also not big trauma. And hopefully that...
The first bit of dark arts, bit of tactics there, bit of just messing around with the opposition, around team naming. Rassie and them know exactly what they're doing. Eben got through a full training session on Monday, so we could see that Eben get pushed into the starting lineup for this game. You want him in your side. You want him starting. You want him in your side. And that could throw things out a little bit. So you could see then, I would still then keep Pieter-Steph du Toit I would move him to 5 and put Eben at 4 and put Ruan Nortje on the bench. And then you're going to have to look at dropping either Marco van Staden, Elrich Low or Kwagga Smith. I would probably drop Elrich Low. We see what Marco van Staden and Kwagga Smith can do on the back end of the game. Come on, they've done it numerous times against the All Blacks as well. Remember when Kwagga Smith came on in the World Cup final, I think straight off the bat, stole a ball from Will Jordan and then went on to steal maybe 2 or 3 more balls at ruck time. So there's a bit of technical tactics around that. But I'm more, so you're focusing on so we know Springboks to be always physical, in your face, strong carriers of the ball, strong defense, strong at ruck time, strong at set piece. Yes, they're still bringing that, but we've seen over the last couple of games where they're bringing in more of an attacking, expansive style of play. With this team named, okay, you've got BJ Dixon on the side, Siya Kolisi on the other side, and then Jasper Wiese. I'm thinking Jasper Wiese is going to get maybe a half, maybe 30 minutes, and you could see him change his first game in over 6 weeks. So you could see him there trying to carry the ball strong, do as much damage as he can for the first 30, 40 minutes, and then they'll bring someone like Kwagga Smith back on or Marco van Staden on. Those guys with a big engine that can get through a lot of work. See the guys like Ben Jason Dixon is an 80-minute player and he gets through a ton of work. So they're wanting him to hit those wider rucks because I think the Springboks are going to try and spread the ball here, try and beat the All Blacks almost at the All Blacks' own game. Guys like Pieter-Steph du Toit that's in that forward pack, that 80-minute player, even if Ruan Nortje stays there, Eben Etzebeth doesn't play, that's 80-minute players. These guys are going to be told, you've got 80 minutes, you're going to play the full game. Obviously, if there's an injury, then that changes that a bit, but 80-minute players in this forward pack that are going to have to hit rucks, make the big tackles, and make those plays, especially on the wider edges of the field. Looking at the back line, so they've gone with Sasha at 10. We know what he brings at 10. He's a running, attacking based, and loves to run the ball, charges his arm, and backs himself as well. And it's not necessarily just someone who backs himself. He's got the skill to do that as well, to execute those plays. So if he wants to attack the line, he's good at just stalling, straightening the line, and busting through. We've seen him bust through forwards to get through, or he's got a little chip and chase, or the skip pass. He's got the skill set to do what is in his head, what he's thinking of doing, and then to execute that as well. They've gone with Apolele Fassi out the back at fullback, a lot faster than Willie Leroux, younger, strong under the high ball, which you still want the core values of a fullback. Is strong under the high ball. Defense is probably the one thing that there might be a question mark around Apolele Fassi. But to be honest, Willie Leroux wasn't the biggest tackler neither. It's more just covering that side. So I think Apolele Fassi and Willie Leroux around defense is probably the same, but Apolele Fassi is a lot faster than Willie Leroux. And Kirkley Orange, Ches and Colby and Apolele Fassi out the back, they're going to be looking to create space for these guys to cause damage down the outside. And back in the day, that used to be the All Blacks tactics. Now, we jump over to the All Blacks side. Yes, the All Blacks team hasn't been announced yet. I'm very much looking forward to that. But best believe the All Blacks are going to go into this trying to physically beat the Springboks. Whether you like it or not, Springboks are always going to be physical. It's always going to be a physical game. Regardless of if now, of recent time, the Springboks have been trying to throw the ball around a bit more. They're still always good at set piece scrums and lineouts, and just bigger bodies, man. You still, regardless of, like I said, the set play or how they're going to play or how you think they're going to play, it's always going to be physical and tough and brutal and strong tackles, strong carries. You're going to have to front up physically like that. We could see the All Blacks try and do that. It'll be very interesting to see how they go about their bench and whether they bring Sam Cane straight in. You've got guys like Dalton Papali'i, Sam Cane, Ardie Savia, very physical, love carrying the ball, love making strong, dominant tackles as well. Then you got someone like Scott Barrett that comes back into the team. Maybe will they go with Tupuvai at lock or Sam Darry at lock? Regardless, it's strong, high work rate guys. The front row love to carry the ball as well. Cody Taylor loves to carry the ball. Tamati Williams love to carry the ball. Tyrell Lomax as well. But then it's who they have on the bench. And if they go with that 6-2 split to try and combat what Springboks will bring up front. You've got, so then who could you have? You could have Luke Jacobson. You could have Ethan Blackadder or even Sam Cane on the bench, whether you start one of those other guys. And then you could have someone like Havili that can cover the whole back line. If you're only picking two guys on the bench in the backs, you could have someone like Havili that could pretty much cover the whole back line. Someone like Ardie Savia, if you're flipping it, Ardie Savia could cover centre, wing if he has to. Because if you're looking at South Africa's bench, Kwagga Smith can cover wing or centre at a stretch. He's played sevens. Ardie Savia the same. The guys have got the skill set to do that. I just think All Blacks and South Africa, what we're used to with the All Blacks, we're used to strong skill set, love to spread the ball, good expansive style of play, and they execute that really well. And what we're used to with the Springboks is strong, physical, hold the ball, strong set piece, beat you up front. Could we see those tactics swap in Springboks come out with a more expansive style of play, swinging the ball around, let's try and beat you on the outside, and then the All Blacks on the switch, trying to beat you up front, physically dominate you, let's knuckle down and beat you at the set piece, beat you at scrums, which that is still going to be a tough one. But I've always said, any opponent trying to beat the Springboks, you have to fight fire with fire. It's what Ireland did in that second test. They knew Springboks were going to be physical, strong up front. And what did they do? They out-Springbok the Springboks. That's how you beat the Springboks, is outplay them at their own. Springboks base their play of strong set piece, going forward with their ball carries, beating you up on defense, and then they enforce their game plan on you like that. Then they can spread the ball. Then they can find space out wide. But if you can match them or beat them at their own game, it makes it very tough for them to execute their plays, and you can start enforcing your play on the Springboks. Again, this is very much way easier said than done. Ellis Park is also an absolute cauldron. The supporters are on top of you. That's a massive stadium. There's going to be a ton of Springbok supporters. I know there'll be a ton of All Black supporters as well. Like Damon McKenzie has said, it's a very hostile environment. And oh man, I can't wait for it. Regardless, whoever wins it, I think if you can honestly look at the game, whoever wins this game, you can look at this game and be like, they deserve to win it, because both teams are gonna go at it, at each other, throw everything they've got at each other. And I'm still kind of on the fence. I'm leaning towards the Springboks because I am a Springbok fan, so I am a little bit biased, but as most of subscribers here know, and you've been here for a long time, I can look at things down the middle. So if All Blacks do win it, I'll probably understand, like, yes, they deserve to win it. And if they can go out to Ellis Park and win it in South Africa's home, in their backyard, man, they totally deserve it. And if South Africa want to put their foot down as we're out and out the best team in the world, you have to beat the All Blacks, man. You have to beat the All Blacks. Yes, they've done it the past 2 occasions they've played them. They've won. Can you do it again? And can you do it again in Cape Town as well next weekend? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What tactics do you think are going to get thrown ahead here? Is Eben going to play? How do you see this game going about? Let me know in the comments. And I'll see you next time. Bye.